Hello, my name is Sam Yang. I'm the Managing Director and co-founder for Xandar Kardian. Now, this is a very, very short, straight to the point, 5-minute video, well, hopefully 5-minute video of who we are, what we do, and why it may matter. So let me go straight into it. All right. So Xandar Kardian, we actually have two different sides of a company. So one is Proptech, presence detection occupancy. The other side of us is healthcare, remote vital sign monitoring and fault detection. Now, if you think about it, this actually is the perfect harmony because on the left side, on the building side, we are experts in learning what the space is. So we know the walls, the ceiling, the ground, the furniture's potential noises from the air vents shaking and whatnot, fans. On the right side, we know everything about human beings, like health. So why, how we breathe, how our heart works, what happens when you fall down. So that's the two sides of the company. Quick overview, we started many, many years ago, 2011, and we have done a lot of work. We have been deploying into so many places around the world, into banks, museums, airports, Class A office buildings, shopping malls, you name it. We've been there, done that. 95% conversion rate from pilot to deployment. The technology that we use is an impulse UWB radar, and 6.5 to 8 gigahertz. So it's very safe, about 40 times safer than a home Wi-Fi router. And everything, the logic is sitting inside the device. So which means that we don't require internet connection to do any kind of calculations or algorithm processing. The only reason why we need internet connection is because we're sending the data, the occupancy data in real time somewhere. But because of that, because it's so lightweight, we don't need that much power. We also don't even need more than 24 bits of data, which means, of course, we can run LPWAN. So one of our key partners is BearTech, and MyThings LPWAN. So we are very, very flexible in terms of how it's powered, how it's installed, what kind of networking is required. Been there, done that. We're ready for it. The three data sets that we get mainly is the movement index, so large motion, and then micro motion from your breathing as your chest is moving up and down, and the heart as it pumps blood. So again, as a recap, presence detection using your vital sign, occupancy counting use your body motion. So presence detection, how we're different is, ultrasonic sensors, it actually gets triggered too easily. So there's always false alarms. PIR motion sensors, you have to trigger, it's the reverse. So if you're just sitting down, typing away, talking on the phone, it's gonna go off. And that is exactly the reason why they usually delay the vacancy by 30 to 45 minutes, especially in an office building. In a bathroom, usually about 10, 15 minutes. But because of that, in an office building, you get right away the savings because if you, for example, you show up to work at 9, whether or not you follow the 5217 rule doesn't matter. You're going to go to the bathroom a couple times. You're going to go for coffee break. You're going to go for lunch. You're going to go have a meeting or two, maybe more than 1 hour. If you add all those times that you're not physically sitting down in your own office, it could be more than 4 hours. But you're doing in and out, meaning you're triggering, you're leaving, the lights are on for 45 minutes. And then you come back, you're triggering again, and then you leave again for 45 minutes. So this repetitive pattern will be wasting a lot of energy. And we validated this by doing a pilot last summer with Quadrille, and we got $14,000 savings per year per floor, 24,000 square feet floor. Now, obviously with that, you can use the sensor for security purposes because again, it's 99.99%. One of the first places that we ever got deployed was a major airport in Europe, and we have been deployed because they went through 36 different sensors over 18 months, and basically we came out as the winner. And this has been the case for many, many, many places, and this is the reason why we are working with a lot of security firms as well. In fact, one fun fact is our sensor is used in a national bank guarding billions and billions of dollars of gold. And so just very interesting how our sensors, and very exciting too, how our sensor is being used around the world. Now, on this one, this is called XKA100. It's very small, size of a golf ball. We made this so that you can detect presence in a small space, like a co-working space or a meeting room, or above a toilet seat. And it's 20-degree field of view on purpose, narrow beam, so you're not triggering someone beside you. And the range is between 2 and 4 meters. So it can run on battery power. It can also run on USB-C plug-in power. And this is very unique and useful because if you think about it, software only really works if everyone follows the rules, if everyone uses the app and doesn't sit somewhere else and comes on time and leaves on time and so on. Now on the sensor-based competitors, most of them are using either PIR or camera or Bluetooth. Now this device does have Bluetooth in there, so it can also work with it. But so if you have Bluetooth employee ID, you can tap it, and then we will also know exactly who sat there, which is important for COVID-19 contact tracing, right? So this is also ready for that. The other thing is PIR motion sensors. It can be triggered easily, meaning it can actually trigger someone to come over and clean the area unnecessarily. So that doesn't happen with us because we're getting instant detection and then vacancy, but also dwell time. Now, the most interesting thing about us is radar-based occupancy counting. We were, in fact, the first in the world to even attempt doing it. We succeeded in 2014. We have videos going back to 2015 and 16. But it was mostly in the early days where people have to be moving, and some companies, some competitors that we see now are using FMCW 4D clock point, where the angular resolution and the motion has to be there always. I'm getting too technical here, but long story short, we've been there, done that. We use our radar with presence detection as a core, and then on top of it, we analyze the entire motion that people make in a given space, and that's how we get the people count. So we're actually, we can be installed anywhere, on side of the wall, pillar, behind the display, behind ceiling panels. And it's unique because we can get so many different data out of any location. So we've done that in different malls. Here are some examples. In and out counting using doors, zone counting. Let's say, for example, on the right, Tim Hortons A&W, we can get how many people there are lined up in that particular store. So these are some of the buildings, mostly Class A office buildings, because initially we were doing a lot of shopping malls, and then I think around March, April this year, because of COVID-19, switched over to Class A office building because of occupancy density, crowd alert kind of use cases. So here's an example. If 5 people enter the space, it's going to turn red and say, hey, please hold, don't come in. Of course, we have some graphical UIs as well ready if they want, but today most places are opting for a simpler solution. So here's some of the other examples, some airports, Walmart. On the right is actually a photo from Walmart in Georgia. You can see our sensor beside the Stanley door control, automatic. On the left, you see our sensor on top of the stainless beam. Now, what's important here is our in and out counting sensor can work from any type of swing open doors, double doors, automated doors, rotational doors like on the left, even on man traps, circle locks. So it is very versatile, and we can count in those areas. Now, dashboard. Let's take a look at this. We can have a master account. We can have it separated, so only some people can only see their own building. But overall, this is designed so that you can have just a simple bird's eye view of everything that's happening on your properties. You click on it, you get a floor view, you get real-time information, foot traffic, emergency uses. If there's a fire, you can also use that to alert the first responders. And you can have information such as, hey, what happened during what day of the week or what time of the day the foot traffic is trending, which entrances, right? And spatialization. So how are the meeting rooms being used? When? Which room? What type? Large rooms? Middle-sized rooms? Small meeting rooms? Which one's popular? And if they're popular, how many people actually use it? Because Sometimes you can book large rooms and have three people in there when there's supposed to be 20, just because it looks nice. And so you want to know, are the meeting rooms being used properly? What about elevator? What is the peak usage time? What day of the week? Which floor does it stop most of the time? What's the average wait time? And location type, which type of space, like workstation, copy print breakout, which division, which team uses the most, development, investment, finance team. Again, we can get into so much detail with the data. Washroom is also very interesting because yes, you can get average usage time, total usages for the week, for the day. What's the maximum use time? When does people use the most? But then you can also set it so that you can say, hey, if this toilet seat has more than 10 or 20 or 50, then send the alert to janitor services so they can come and clean it. It just goes into a real usage-based cleaning services. But you can also tie in something interesting. I mean, it can be funny, but in reality, if you think about it, we say how many people have used the space more than 3 minutes, and because each 3 minute plus usage can equal to 2 meter roll of toilet paper, and with that data, we can estimate how much roll is left without having a separate sensor inside the toilet paper roll. So these are some ways that you can use our sensor in a very unique and interesting way. Now, heat map. So we provide heat maps as well. Like if it's, let's say, for example, a retail space. So if it's a retail space from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., it's open. You get information of the foot traffic, which room did they go to most, which rooms did they not go at all. After that, what happens from 9 p.m. to midnight? If the contract cleaners come in, you want to know, did they really clean everywhere? Now, if they did they really spend X amount of time? Because sometimes they can just go, oh, it looks clean enough, and throw out the trash can and done. So if you want to see that, you can get that information from the cleaning heat map, but also you can click on individual sensor and then find out what the dwell time was by the cleaning crew. So naturally, what comes after that? Security patrol. So if people want to use it, let's say, for example, from midnight to 6 a.m., if the space should not be occupied, then let me know if someone is occupying that space. So it can be sent an alert to the on-premise security. So I just want to touch base one more time. The energy savings cap. So one of the most common sense. Why would you use a radar sensor? One of the most biggest ROI factor, aside from space utilization, security, and cleaning efficiency and whatnot, is energy saving, as I mentioned before. So if we get information such as what do they have now or before versus the kilowatt hour, the rates and whatnot, so we get that information and we can actually do a real-time calculation of how much savings that they're potentially getting by just simply using our sensor. Very quickly on the vital sign, we do heart rate breathing, as I mentioned, at an accuracy of plus minus 4 BPM, plus minus 1 breath per minute. We're doing some studies with this to find out if we can use it for stress and fatigue detection. And again, just one of the most common things that I get asked is, hey, do you get my vital sign all the time? The answer is no. For presence detection, we don't record any vital sign. But can we, if you want it, yes, we would actually need you to sign a waiver form or sign an authorization form. So we won't ever detect and record private information. In fact, we have a separate dashboard, separate server for that with HIPAA compliance server. So we're very, very, very sensitive to private information. So you don't have to worry about that. One last thing is fall detection. Why does this matter? So in any building, whether it's a shopping mall or whether it's an office building, you're going to have areas where people may fall, especially single occupant bathrooms, handicapped bathrooms, wherever it may be. Now, if they fall down, there's no one that's going to come in because they're just thinking that you're just, in the bathroom for a little longer. Only after, 1, 2, 3 hours and someone says, hey, you know what? That bathroom has been occupied for way too long. Something's not right. And there, you have got to get a security staff or staff employee to come in and knock on the door. A lot of things. Because, yes, some of them you have the pull strings, some of them you have the buttons. Problem with those is you need to be conscious and you need physical strength to go over and do something. A lot of times when you have a medical emergency, you can't do that. You're dizzy, you're disoriented, you may become unconscious. Our sensor basically it detects a fall, but it verifies for 40 seconds. We're looking for breathing and heartbeat coming from the ground. It confirms. That is why we're able to get 98% misdetection free and false alarm free performance. And the alert can be customized to be sent to employees or on-premise security, or as a fail-safe mode, it can also send an alert to a third-party emergency services when they'll be able to make calls for you. So this is it, and 24 patents, yes, to a journal published. I know I went way over 5 minutes, but thank you for your attention. And this is my email address, sam@xkcorp.com. Thank you for your time, and hopefully we can go into more discussions during the show. Thank you.